So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too.
Amigo, não tem problema, amigo, eu não tenho problema, amigo. Hold on, please, man. Sorry. Move back.
Sana magaalo kala wala adeegana saa idinku ijeedina adeegana walibo. Isoo aad adikaale. Ani aad isku baahan kaal adeer waxay weydii. Wajiga igu jira geedkeyga ani. Waa watay. Sana lagu adeegtaya xaabe sana baasboorka wajiga uu soo xiro. Wajiga hadii aad u dhaho aadi waa kana wajiga uu saaran
Come get the Somalian freeloader. Come get him. Are you really going to waste your resources and time to come find a freeloader? Really? Am I that, important to you? I'm just a freeloader, not a criminal. So, you're going to waste your time, resources.
This is all I know. I was only 3 years old when I came, and this is my home, and this has got to stop.
I'm not scared, so I'm citizen. I'm happy. I'm United States. I brought up America. I'm happy. So why you asking me? Some guys asking me, give me passport, give me a green card. Why you asking me?
Almost every Somali person living here is a citizen.
There's more than 100,000 Somalis in Minnesota. Roughly 84,000 reside in the metro. The journey from Somalia started decades ago.
My family immigrated here to Minneapolis, to Minnesota in 1993. As my father says, we came to a cold place, but we found people with warm hearts.
My parents wanted to provide us a good opportunity for us to chase after that American dream, right?
Many fleeing from civil war, crossing continents for a chance to build something, a chance for their children. For Sumaya Mahmoud, her parents' struggle paved the way for her to shine. Despite the rhetoric, she's grateful to be Somali and American.
One thing they taught me was resilience and not letting, other people's perception of you limit what you can do for yourself. I was born in Kenya, and then I grew up here, started kindergarten, K through 12, all the way up to college here in Minnesota.
The Great Somali Roundup has begun in Minnesota. It's a wild story. For those that haven't been following it, there's a major fraud scheme, a judge overturning a fraud conviction, and Kristi Noem saying that half the visas are all fraudulent. Now, most of you are probably aware that for the longest time, Ilhan Omar has been accused of marrying her own brother in order to get him legal status in these United States, which would be immigration fraud, and it could subject her to denaturalization and deportation. Now, some people are curious as to how you can lose U.S. citizenship. And the law is that if you engage in immigration fraud, they can strip you of naturalization. The idea being that your naturalization was for the purpose of defrauding the United States. So they'll reverse it. Now, in this regard, some might say, yes, but Ilhan Omar was already a citizen, and then she married her brother. No difference. She acquired U.S. citizenship going through the normal motions, and that's fine. But the purpose of getting citizenship was to then fraudulently bring other people in. That is subjecting her to, if it's true, she could be denaturalized and deported. The argument.
So Somalians are trying to drag Black Americans into their fight. Check this out.
But Trump based his order on a report whose author has made it clear that his goal is to denaturalize and deport as many Somali Americans as possible. This is not about crime. It's not about safety. This is about purging people like me from this country. Minnesota has always been a welcoming place for people fleeing a home country that is battered by war, poverty, and hunger. Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, Black Americans from the South, Hmong.
That was a call for allyship, and they threw the race card out there. We're all black. What happened to I'm not black, I'm Somalian? And what happened to the call of allyship when y'all was scamming Minnesota out of hundreds of millions of dollars? They only pull out the race card when it's beneficial to them, because before this, they'll tell you, you're jealous because Somalians are driving Priuses. And there's no allyship when they taking advantage of all these government assistance programs, HUD, public housing. They're not going to let you in their building that they're in. And these are the same people that will tell you, if you black American Somalians will say, hey, my people came over here in planes and your people came over here in shackles and chains. Keep that same energy. I respect that.
Family, what we are witnessing in Minneapolis right now has sent shockwaves through one of the largest Somali diaspora communities in the United States. Now, family, for decades, Somalis have built lives there, raising families, opening businesses, paying taxes, serving in healthcare, transport, education, and public service. And Minneapolis isn't just a city to them, it's home. Now, yet over the past years, or over the past weeks rather, community leaders, immigration advocates, and families themselves have raised alarms over what they describe as a sudden escalation in deportation enforcement. Now, people report loved ones being detained during routine check-ins, traffic stops, or workplace encounters, and sometimes without clear explanations given to families left behind. Now, what makes this moment especially disturbing is the silence. These stories are not dominating national headlines. There are no breaking news banners every night. Instead, information is spreading through social media, mosque announcements, legal aid hotlines, and whispered warnings. And people are warning each other that don't open the door, carry your documents, know who to call if you disappear. And let's be very clear: fear itself becomes a weapon. And even those who have legal status begin to panic. Children go to school unsure if their parents will be home by evening. Mothers rehearse emergency plans with neighbors. Elders stop leaving their homes altogether. And so this isn't happening in a vacuum. It's unfolding in a political climate where immigration enforcement is increasingly used as a show of strength. Now, deportation becomes a performance meant to signal toughness rather than justice. And historically, when enforcement intensifies, black immigrants often experience it more harshly, more suddenly, and with less public sympathy. Now, the Somali community is also uniquely vulnerable because of past displacement. Many came to the US as refugees fleeing war and instability, and so deportation, even in the threat of it, reopens old trauma. Sending people back to uncertainty or even separating families across borders has consequences that don't show up in policy briefs. Now, what's happening in Minneapolis raises a deeper question America keeps avoiding. Who gets to belong conditionally and who belongs without question? And so when communities can be destabilized quietly without outrage, it sets a precedent that affects everyone else next. And so this is why paying attention matters, not because of politics alone, but because normalizing mass fear is dangerous. And when entire communities live in survival mode, democracy weakens and compassion erodes and injustice becomes easier to repeat. Now, this story is still unfolding. Legal challenges are emerging, advocacy groups are mobilizing, families are speaking out despite the risk. And the question now is whether the country is listening or whether this will be remembered as another moment America locked away.